One fight in 32 just took place literally moments ago. We saw Jaosuayai steal the show when he knocked out Nakrob literally in the first round. We will be breaking this fight card down next in Fighting with Friends. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Fighting with Friends. It's your boy, Brother Guy. I'm back again with another, not preview, recap of One Friday, One Fight Night 32. Excuse me. This is the second time I'm actually doing this because my audio bloody bombed out before this, so I wasn't able to now give you guys that video. So this is me doing it again. Literally, it was a fantastic fight card. Like I said, we had One Fight Night 32 that took place literally a few moments ago. Where we saw Joshua steal the show. He knocked out Nakrob literally in the fashion that he said he was going to do it, and we have to speak volumes about that. But okay, before I get into that, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been tuning in to One Drive, which is Fighting with Friends so far, as well as the live that we just did. A lot of you guys joined. There was big ups that I saw at the end of the live. A lot of numbers increased in terms of people viewing and coming into our live. So maybe for the next one, I'm gonna try and stay on and do the recap for you guys on the live, or maybe just chat about the fights. Maybe not do a recap, just chat about the fights a little bit before we conclude the live stream, considering the numbers are going to look like that again. But anyway, for all of you guys that did join, many thanks to everybody. I'm happy that you guys did it. We actually gained quite a number of subscribers at the end of that stream, so big ups to all of you. And yeah, as always, just keep sharing and love for the love, right? Let's keep it going. But let's go. It started at the top of the card where we saw a main event between Nakrob versus Jaosuayai. I'm hoping that my mic isn't actually working. Let me turn this down because yeah, I'm a bit concerned actually. You know what? Let's just go without completely, just in case that doesn't bomb out again. So yeah, Nakrob taking on Jaosuayai. So yeah, fascinating fight. I did say that Jaosuayai was going to win. I didn't think he was going to knock him out, at least not so early, but maybe a bit later in the fight, right? But I did think Nakrob had the power advantage, and his style left him open. Let's put it that way, right? I did say that he was watching tape on Nakrob and he realized that Nakrob is the kind of guy that doesn't chase you down and let the handwork go, let the kicks go and win the fight like that. He kind of sets up one or two shots at a time, which is what I said in the preview. One or two shots at a time, but lots of power behind those shots, right? Jaosuayai was just privy to all of this. He knew exactly how to get through it. He was basically waiting for Nakrob to come into distance, took an angle, threw a nice question mark kick, knocking Nakrob, knocking him, not knocking him down, just but making him, put him on skates and then setting up a nice 3-punch combination with a left, right, left uppercut, dropping Nakrob. And then basically, and you could see Nakrob didn't recover from that one at all because then when the referee did stand him up and give him a countdown, give him a chance to recover, he recovered, he put his hands there, but he still looked very much out of it for me. Because then when I closed him down, he threw a jumping push kick, landed some boxing combinations, took an elbow, but then came out, walked, basically pulled Nakrob out of that corner, and then threw another left-right combination, rocking Nakrob, and then ultimately sealing the deal with a nice high kick, left high switch kick, knocking Nakrob down, ultimately getting Jaosuayai literally performance of the night for me. I know they gave him fight of the night, but the fight was too short for him to get fight of the night, in my opinion. He just won the fight on performance. He won the fight literally within a minute, so I think that wasn't long enough. But very good performance regardless, right? Just give me a second. I might speed through this just a little bit because I'm just a bit worried that I'm able to do it again after just recording this. After just recording this recap. But okay, beautiful performance from Jaosuayai that sets him up now to be a ranked fighter. Nakrob was ranked number 5 in this fight, coming into this fight, whereas Jaosuayai was just outside of that. Now that he beat Nakrob, I think Jaosuayai should definitely get the number 5 ranked spot in the flyweight Muay Thai. And if you think about the rankings, right, there's Kongtorani who's ranked number 4, Nong O number 3, Suplik number 2, Roteng number 1. So the number 3 guys, they in the sort of a pool of their own right now. But I think having Kongtorani fought against Nong O twice, coming off a loss, I think that he's still number 4. I think that Jaosuayai should fight against Kongtorani next if they're going forward into the future, just because they have fought before. Kongtorani did beat Jaosuayai in their first encounter by unanimous decision. So I think that running the fight back would be the next best thing to do, right? especially because Jaosuayai is now newly into the top five, and he's climbing up the rankings. Who best? Who better than Kong Trani to fight next, right? If you get Kong Trani and you get through him, the sky's the limit. You fight literally anybody outside anyone else after that, and maybe even go for a title run. $50,000 richer. I think he deserved everything that came his way. Jaosuayai, the press, the money, the fighting, the accolades that he's going to be getting, the position he puts himself in now to get top ranked opponents. Well done. And also, like globally now, people are going to recognize him a lot more. So I'm just a big fan of that. I think Jaosuayai definitely deserves anything great that comes his way going forward. As for Nakrob, it's a bit of an unfortunate loss, but he did go up against someone that I thought was going to beat him regardless. So I think Nakrob, they can take on someone else, someone that's younger, not younger, someone that's up and coming. You know, there's Freddie Agri, there's Estupinan twins, there's Taiki Naito, there's Akif Kuluzada. The list goes on and on in terms of how many flyweight contenders they do one. Like there's a number of guys you can be fighting, right? So I'm looking forward to seeing more of both of them. I think Naitob's only 26 years old, so he doesn't have to. This doesn't really tarnishes his stock. I think he's still pretty much a high level fighter, and he still has a lot to go at 26 years old. So we will see him in the future for sure, taking on maybe some of the newer prospect guys, right? As for Jaosuayai, he can only fight up from here, in my opinion. So he should be fighting Kong Trani next going forward. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, give me your thoughts in the comments about who you think is going to happen, who you think they should be fighting in the future, and also what do you make of Jaosuayai's performance? Really, that was beautiful. I think a lot of people were calling this fight to end in the fashion that Jaosuayai did, and there we go. He got the finish, and it takes him now to a 4-fight winning streak. So big ups to Jaosuayai. Then we're gonna move into the co-main event between a fight that I was looking forward to for most of the fights on the fight card. Really, if I'm being honest, because I'm a big fan of Aliff. Thought Aliff did what he does, what he said he was going to do. He took on Elmehdi El Jamari. This is in the strawweight Muay Thai, and yeah, big ups to both guys. Firstly, both of them made their weight on their attempts, and they looked really healthy going into it. So Aliff saw the Japan dude. He's got the stuff. This is a name to recognize. I'm telling you. I know we have Jojo Ghazali. That's sort of the Malaysian superstar, but I think so. Aliff is the guy to look out for. I think he's definitely the top class fighter coming out of Malaysia, and he fought a flawless fight. He fought a fight that he game planned for. He did say that he doesn't want to stay in the pocket for too long because he feels like he has a disadvantage there. He thinks that Elmehdi El Jamari's got the power over him, and that's exactly what we saw, right? Ali fighting out on the outside, utilizing a lot of body kicks, a lot of knees, a lot of elbows in the clinch, a lot of hard low kicks to the calf. You could see that you could see the effect of that because at the end of the fight, Zachariah's whole rib on both sides were purple, like battered from this kick from Aliff, as well as his front leg was purple. He took a lot of, maybe that could just be because of the scar tissue, but he took a lot of damage from that fight, and he was actually walking through it. He was standing there. He didn't get rocked. He was walking through most of them, but I think he couldn't really get his game plan going forward. He couldn't set up Aliff. Aliff was just too elusive and dodged a lot of what he was doing. And there was moments where Altamari landed like maybe 2 or 3 hard left hooks, but Aliff took them, got rocked back, but took them and came back and fought strong and cocky fighter, hands down, just basically fighting and dodging everything that Al Jamari was throwing at him. And yeah, I thought the performance was really amazing. And I think for both guys, it made a fight for me that was fight of the night because both guys came to kind of get it. But I think Aliff was just better on the night. And I think he's the better fighter overall as well. 21 years old, dude. Who knows what it's going to look like when he's 26, 27 years old? He might just be the toughest dude to deal with. And here's a big thing about him as well. He fights in strawweight and he's basically 6'5'9", 6 foot. He's big for strawweight. He's massive for strawweight. 5'9", 5'9". That's a big strawweight. And now we know that he's going to fight against Prajanchai next for the title because they made the guys face off in the ring. They did announce it. They didn't make an announcement about it before the fight. There was an interview with Nick Atkin and Aliff was saying, Nick Atkin was asking him about the fight against Prajanchai, and he was like, "Yeah, that's the goal." And Prajanchai was ringside when the fight was done. He came into the ring with his belt over his shoulder. They had a bit of words to exchange, and then they did a face-off. So I think that is going to be the next fight that One Championship is going to make in the strawweight division in terms of championship quality. We're going to see Aliff Soldier Japan fight against Prajanchai for that strawweight title. Hopefully, still in 2025. I would love to see that one. especially because Aliff didn't take really any damage in this fight. So I think we're going to see him fight against Prajanchai. But Prajanchai has also been inactive. So hopefully that fight happens in 2025. But okay, ladies and gentlemen, give me your thoughts about it. I think Aliff fought the perfect game plan. And he's one to watch. He's definitely one to watch in the future. But let me know in the comments who do you think is going to win in that fight between Prajanchai and Aliff. And what do you make of Aliff's performance as well? As for El Jamari, nothing to be sad about. He's still going to be a top contender. I think there's a lot of fights that he can still take on in the strawweight division. So let's see what happens for him next in the future. But I do think he's going to take some time off, considering that he took a lot of damage in that fight. I mean, his body was pieced up, turned into mince meat. Okay, let's keep it moving. A fight between the other Malaysian sensation, Johan Ghazali, taking on Diego Paez. And I felt that this was a bit of a controversial decision, just because I think that Diego didn't do enough. And I'll explain it now. What happened in this fight was Ghazali utilized his reach and height advantage, right? He utilized a lot more of the power advantage as well. He was attacking the body, attacking the legs, setting up a lot of his strikes by hitting the body, a lot of body work. And Diego Paez was fighting on the back foot for most of the time. In fact, he had to change up his game plan in round two, because in round one he was just getting walked down easily, and really struggled with that range. Whereas Diego Paez, excuse me, a lot of talking tonight. Diego Paez couldn't really get on the front foot the way he wanted to for the whole fight, by the way. So he had to do something different. So in the second round, he was fighting a lot more counter striking, but a lot of it counter striking wasn't effective. It just didn't do anything to change the course of what Johan Ghazali was doing. A lot of what Diego was doing was spinning back elbows, which was being blocked and evaded by Johan most of the time. He didn't really throw off the jab. A lot of his twitching movements was making Johan Ghazali rethink about the entry, but it didn't make Ghazali change when he did go forward. He still walked forward. He still walked Diego down, still went into the elbow exchanges, and then it cleaner strikes, right? There was small moments in round 2 and 3 where Diego was pushing it. In fact, at the end of, I would say, midway through round 3, going to the end, Diego won that. Like, he was the one that was pressure. He was starting to push the pace. He started taking front foot. He started to take up the space of the ring. He started to utilize the geography a lot better. Whereas in rounds 1 and round 2, I thought he lost. And Mitch Chilson, and I forgot who the other commentator was on the night with him. Both of them were saying, they got Ghazali over the first 2 rounds. And then my split decision goes to Diego Paez. And I'm like, oh, am I missing something? Like, what the hell just happened? So I'm going to ask you that's tuning into Fighting with Friends. Let me know in the comments if you scored the fight the same way. If you think it happened the same way. I will give a win to any fighter that's fighting off the counter-striking position if it's effective. Right? If they win. Aliff was fighting counter-striking the whole of his fight against El Jamari. He was on the back foot the whole of that fight. But he was dodging everything. He was cleaner in all his strikes. He was more active when they did get into the void. He was going first when they got into the void. He wasn't going off the back foot. And he wasn't going off second. So he won the fight. In this fight, Diego didn't do any of that. He was going second. He was on the back foot. He wasn't dictating the pace. He was relying a lot heavily on having Johan miss, which didn't happen that often. So I'm a bit surprised at the decision. But okay, he won the fight. And this is also a flyweight division. So hopefully we can see him again. Again, like I did think that he was going to have experience to win the fight. I just didn't think he won it. But he's got, the accolades. He's got the name. He's got the stuff about him that can put him in a position to fight for higher ranking positions. I say give him another prospect. I say give him Akif Kulazada. There you go. Give him one of those killers. Give him Jordan Estupinan. He beat Freddie Haggerty in his last fight. He's also in the fight Muay Thai. He also only has one fight. Diego Paez, this was his second fight. Give him as well to kind of see where he sits at, right? Because the fights, then he can fight against someone that's got a lot of experience. And then we can see what happens. There's for Johan Ghazali, he's only 19 years old. The loss is a setback, but not that massive of a setback. I do think that the pressure is going to get him a little bit because there's a lot of investment in him from One Championship, as well as if you think about the coaches that are coaching him, right? A lot of former champions are coaching him and current champions. So it's like you expect him to win. It's like he's gone to the best schools, funded for the best universities, got the best gyms, and then he goes in and has a back-to-back losses. So it's like, oh, what's his mental game going to be like now? Personally, I think he shouldn't be discouraged by this. It's the fight game, right? He will lose fights. He must just keep his head down, take the losses, watch the tape, see where he's gone down. I personally feel like what Johan Ghazali should do more is increase the arsenal. Because what he throws at you is now and then jab, 1-1-2, but then he throws overhand right. That's his best weapon. He will do a switch kick to the body. He will throw a cuff kick from the right side. And that's the stuff he throws at you. It's that list of strikes is what he's gonna throw at you. Nothing more than that. So I think what he's gonna have to do going forward is set those shots up and then maybe add something else into his arsenal. He's bigger than most of these guys in flyweight. He's bigger and stronger than most of these guys in flyweight. I would have to see him work into the clinch, use that strength in the clinch, throw some elbows there and stay there. Make that your weapon of choice. Um, and then if that doesn't work, you can go back to your fighting out on the range because he's taller. But what I notice is from Johan Ghazali is that he gives his opponents an easy pattern to read. You know what I'm saying? Because he's not changing anything. And if he can also strike from different angles, not coming straight forward, he would be a lot more deadlier. But again, he's younger, and I'm pretty sure he's got a lot of time to work on all of that. So I'm very keen to see more of them in the future, more so for Johan Ghazali. But okay, we'll keep it moving, ladies and gentlemen. To a fight between Johan Estupinan and who took on Taiki Naito in flyweight, Muay Thai as well. And Taiki Naito won this fight by majority decision. I think he won unanimously, by the way. This was a good fight of being effective of your counter striking and fighting out of the back foot, right? Not like what Diego Paez did. Johan Estupinan was the forward momentum pressure fighter. Yeah, he was throwing a lot of mad things, which is what he does, right? He's very like a tornado. He's just going to go in there and he's going to throw spin kicks, panda kicks, deep kicks, odd boxing combinations, work off the range that he usually has, in and out movements, just fighting very fast, right? Doesn't really slow down. And Taiki Naito came into this fight well conditioned and prepared for it, right? Because he was counter striking very beautifully. Everything that he did throw landed. A lot of calf kicks, a lot of kicks to the body. Whenever he did get clipped from a left straight from Estupinan, he would just move to the side, throw something hard. He would get it back. He would get that strike back, right? But I just think what he portrayed in this fight is something that Diego was trying to do, which was a matador to the bull, right? Move left to right, make the guy that's pulling you down, make him miss a lot and land a lot of your strikes. And I think Taiki Naito did that well. And what ultimately won in the fight was the knockdowns. Got a knockdown in the first round with a nice check left hook. With a nice check left hook. He also landed a very good stiff jab in the second round, which also knocked Johan Estupinan back, almost dropping him, by the way. And then in the third round, he was doing more of the same stuff. He was just avoiding anything Johan throws at him, slips it, lands a good body kick, lands a good right kick, maybe throws a couple of 1-2s at him. And then at the end of the third round, as Johan Estupinan was coming in, he threw another overhand right, dropping Estupinan again. So I think what this fight showed me was there's a lot of experience that Johan Estupinan still has to go and learn and gain, you know, and Taiki Naito was exactly that. It showed him there's levels to the game that you need to still go and learn. And that comes from how to enter, how to set up your strikes. I think a lot of what Johan does is he makes the fight a barn burner kind of fight, which favors him because of his energy levels. But I fought someone that was awake to this and knew how to navigate it and counter strike very beautifully and won him the fight. So Taiki Naito sets himself up for maybe a potential high level opponent. I just don't know if he gets like a top ranked fighter just because it's Muay Thai and he doesn't really finish his fights. Right? All ends in decisions. So I think he's gonna have to work on that finishing capabilities. But in terms of decisions and how to navigate fights, he's almost second to none. And also having fought so much of the top talent and champions of one championship. That's probably why Estupinan realized I'm in here against someone that actually knows how to navigate fighters like me. So big ups to him. As for Johan Estupinan, nothing to be discouraged of. He can definitely come back and fight against anybody because he's that kind of guy. I think any fight he's going to be in is going to be a whirlwind kind of fight. So, but he needs to learn how to be a little bit more patient with that injuries. Okay, let's keep it moving, ladies and gentlemen. Ibrahim Tawev took on Magomed Akayev, featherweight MMA. I don't know if this is the correct decision here. I thought Ibrahim lost this fight, by the way, but okay, you can let me know in the comments. I thought Magomed was doing really well. I think in the first round, he was winning the first round by having the more accurate and more effective striking. That's what he was doing really well, and he had Ibrahim not really enjoying it, right? Forcing him to wrestle, but Magomed literally defended all the takedowns in the first round and reversed some of them as well. Never got taken down in that first round. In the second round, it was more of the same. Ibrahim was trying to kind of strike with him, but wasn't really winning the striking exchanges. Magomed was just countering really well, being the one that was establishing hard one-twos, good kicks to the body. And then when Ibrahim, whenever he would shoot, Magomed will defend it. In fact, he defended the strike so well that he actually got a takedown of his own, takedowns, and he got a takedown of his own, putting Ibrahim down, getting the back, and then sinking in a rear naked choke, which he almost finished, by the way. He almost finished. I mean, it was in. And this is where I give props to Ibrahim to actually defend that and work his way out of it. He defended it really well, got out of that, he reversed the position, they got back up to the feet. When they got back up to the feet, Magomed was again peppering that jab, being the one that was a bit more active in the striking department and cleaner with his counter striking. And then when they got to the third round, this is where Ibrahim was taking now the pace. He was he revved up the pace. He was being more active with his striking, landed more strikes, making Magomed defend. Right. In fact, he defended the whole of that third round, in my opinion. He wasn't really attacking much in that third round, which in my choice then gave Ibrahim that third round, which would then result in a split decision for Magomed Akayev to win, not Ibrahim. Right? Because there was a moment where even when Ibrahim landed a rear naked choke at the end of that third round, Magomed reversed it and got back on top. So yeah, I don't know how I can give the fight to Ibrahim, but they did, and well done, I guess. I can't even say well done because I don't know. I just couldn't see that he won that first two rounds, but they gave it to him. And I think if you guys have a different opinion, again, let me know the thoughts in the comments. But I think Magomed Akayev won that fight. We move on. Also, though, both those fighters didn't make weight, so that's why I don't like to stay too long in a fight that didn't make weight. In this one, both guys did make weight and passed hydration. Ricardo Bravo took on Ariane Espaza in a featherweight Muay Thai fight. And this was a fun fight to watch. Liquor entertaining from the moment it started. Ricardo Bravo didn't really get going, if you ask me. He didn't use his reach advantage and his power. He was missing a lot of the strikes. Ariane Espaza was moving in and out, landed nice, beautiful strikes. I think the activity from Espaza and the clean strikes that landed from Espaza won in the fight. He didn't really do anything damaging, but he was just being a lot more active and beautiful in his performances. Good left hands out of the southpaw stance, good body kicks as well. And also a very evasive work from not staying in range to let Ricardo land his big, heavy punches. There was a couple of good elbows that did land from Ricardo Bravo, which ultimately shut the eye of Esparza, the left eye. But other than that, it didn't do enough. Right? And you could see that Ricardo Bravo was like living up to the antics, smiling whenever he did get clipped, trying to hype up the crowd, which wasn't necessary. The crowd was already hyped at that point. Just keep fighting. But Ariane Esparza for me won the fight because he was cleaner, smarter, more elusive, defended everything, attacked when he needed to attack, and won the fight by just having a lot more activity. And again, I'm keen to see what he looks like going forward. I do believe that the featherweight Muay Thai division, all the guys that's in the top 5, top 6 will beat both of these guys. But that's not going to stop them from getting those fighters. They have to fight up the card, right? So they must get someone that's in the top talent. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna go Ariane Esparza. Am to see him in the future. Ricardo Bravo. I think pay less attention about antics and taunting and focus a lot more on actually getting into the fight and working his way in to get those knockout blows and not just hunt with like heavy strikes and jumping knees and missing all of it. Set those powerful punches up. Then it'll be very, very dangerous. But okay, ladies and gentlemen, give me your thoughts in the comments about that one. I think Ariane Esparza fought really, really well. Then we had a fight between Nicholas Vigner versus Jabilof. I'm not going to again stay too long on this one just because there was a weight miss from Jabir. But the fight went out exactly the way I thought it was going to happen. I thought that Nicholas Vigner was going to get stopped, and that's what happened. Right? He got TKO'd in the first round, very early in the first round, by the way. Jabir didn't take very long to do this. He closed the distance down, went in there, threw some haymakers, dropping Nicholas Vigner, getting him to the ground, and then completing with the ground and pound finish. You could see Nicholas Vigner was all busted up, bleeding all out of all on on the ring floor, and then ultimately, yeah, losing the fight. So Jabir still undefeated. I think he's now 7-0. I think he's a fabulous fighter in terms of like his aggression and his style, and it's fun to watch, but it doesn't go past the first round. So I want to see what happens when he takes on opponents that are good takedown defensive artists, even good grappling, but also deadly counter strikers or deadly strikers, regardless of where the fight goes. Put Jabir in adversity where he has to fight past the first round. If he can get past the first round, past the second round, then I'll be a bit more of a fan. And if he can also make weight, because he's not even that old. He's 21 years old, I think. So I don't know why he's even missing weight, dude. Like he needs to. Yeah, he's 20 years old. He shouldn't be missing weight. So I think going forward, he needs to start getting that right because it's not the first time it's happened. Get that right, and then we can have a bit more fans talking about him, and we can see also the opponent that he beat is someone that's pretty much a retired fighter. So not much stock to really gain after beating someone like Nicholas Vigner, right? But enough throwing shade on him. Let's see what he does. He's a talent there. Let's see what he looks like going forward. Let's see if he can maybe make a run into the title. Which I do think he can, but I just don't think it's going to happen anytime soon. But give me your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen. And then we had a replacement fight that came in, a bit of a late replacement just because of the Ambolek, unfortunate news there for Ambolek he got pulled out of the fight card due to lung infection, so he couldn't fight against Dmitry Kovton. That would have been a sick fight to watch, by the way. But Tajir Khalilov, he came in and he fought a good fight, reminding everyone why he's still a top contender in the, I'm saying bantamweight division, but I think it's flyweight if I'm not mistaken. 140, 135 flyweight, 145 is bantamweight. So yeah, good fight. He took on a debutant in Liao Shishu, 19 years old. Good prospect, fought really well in that first round. Good jabs, good overhand rights, good tips. But then he got a little bit tired when he realized that he couldn't actually wear down Tajir. Tajir utilized the experience, the overwhelming pressure to slow down Liao, and then start landing a lot of his body shots, a lot of low kicks, and setting up the handwork. Ultimately, just being the more active and more high volume fighter, which got him the win. He didn't really do much other than that, but that's what he was doing. I know in the first round he was struggling to get through the reach advantage of Liao, but eventually once he found out to get through it, by not entering with a lot of overhand strikes, by entering with deep kicks and entering carb kicks that set up his hands, which then ultimately got him the job done. So good performance from him, by the way. Like I said, reminding everybody why he's still a top contender for that bantamweight spot. But okay, ladies and gentlemen, that was my time. Big ups to everybody that tuned into the live. Many, many thanks. I had to keep this recap a little bit shorter because this is the second time I'm doing it because the first time it bombed out. But yeah, just big love to everybody that tuned in. Really made the live entertaining for myself along with the fights. But that isn't the only live. In less than 10 hours, 10 hours. Yeah, in about 10 hours from now, I'll be doing another live for UFC's 316. Looking forward to doing that one. Looking forward to seeing all you guys there as well. But on that note, stay tuned, stay blessed. Thank you everyone tuning in. Thank you to 80 for tuning in as well. Yeah, much love to everybody, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.